Hi, welcome to Culture Shot. I've been thinking a lot lately about the complexity of organizations and how some of them tend to wear complexity like a badge, specifically the bigger ones. It's almost like we need more structures and more rules and more processes and more systems in place. And the reason for it very often is that leaders feel without those things they won't have the right amount of control. What's more worrisome to me is how right they are. Because of the systems and the structures and the processes, that we've increased the gap between leaders and people in most organizations. And almost ironically, the only way we have to bridge that gap is through these systems and the structures and the processes. A classic case in point is the annual performance review. Because we rely on a review, a process to dictate who we rank and who we yank, we're losing the ability to sort of have that intuitive human feeling for the human beings inside our organizations. And I think we're weaker for it. Data analysis, all of that stuff, it's all very, very important. These are important tools for leaders, important tools for very complex organizations, no doubt about it. But while data can tell you, for example, how great a roller coaster is, I mean, it can tell you how many G's you pull when you go into a corkscrew or something like that, it can tell you that. It can never replace how it feels in your stomach when you come out of a triple barrel roll into an inverted 22-meter drop or something. That's a human feeling. And that, to me, is always going to be way more important when it comes to guiding and managing people. The analogy between the roller coaster and the workplace is an obvious one, but so are the solutions, funnily enough, because they're inherent in that. It's about, 20 years, I suppose, since the BBC had a show called Back to the Floor. I don't know if you guys ever saw that. I thought it was great. What it did was it put senior executives into junior positions inside their organizations and sort of challenged them to take on those junior roles again. And what was more interesting to me wasn't necessarily the fact that people had forgotten how to do a call center job or a factory job. What got me most was just how thwarted leaders felt by the very systems and structures they'd put in place they were expecting their people to contend with on a daily basis. It's almost like this stuff came as a surprise to them. Putting those bosses in those sorts of positions where common sense contradicted common practice wasn't always intended to be the result, but it was pretty much always the outcome. Let's be clear, you need this. As a leader of the organization, even if you've come through the lower ranks of the organization up to the senior case, it's likely that you've forgotten what it's like to actually be one of those junior level employees or even somebody in middle management, one of those people that's contending with the structures you put in place. And it's equally unlikely you're going to get a sense of what that feels like by analyzing more data. I think it's time you rode your own roller coaster again. Have a great week.